Hello everyone, this is Rajiv S. Khanna from immigration.com, the law offices of Rajiv S. Khanna PC. This call is a special community call that we are doing in response to several questions on my Twitter account as well as ongoing conversation with various community members. Um, it appears to be a cause of concern when employers start charging money from their H1B employees, either to file paperwork or to file extensions. Um, I'm not talking about the green card part because in the green card, for the perm based labor certification, it is absolutely illegal and it's part of the regulations that employers should not be charging money from the employees. My focus more is here on H1B professionals and for H1B visa money. Okay. You have to excuse me for my voice. I have a touch of the allergy, so I'm doing my best. If you cannot hear me, by the way, I have you all on mute. If there is something that's not clear or something that you want me to comment about right away, press star five on your phone. If there is anything you want me to talk about, let me just make sure everybody can hear me fine.
The conference is now in conversation mode.
Can you hear me all? All of you, can you hear me okay? Hello? Can you all hear me okay?
Rajiv, I can hear you.
You can, right?
Yes, I can hear you very well.
Excellent.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Very good. Very good. Somebody raised a hand. Let me just put everybody on mute. I'll be right back. And we can start talking about the substance of our conversation, okay? Thank you, guys.
The conference is now in presentation mode.
Somebody from Virginia had a question or a comment. Go ahead, please.
Hi, Rajiv. I have a question on my, I'm on H1B and I want to do a porting to the AC21. I want to use AC21.
I'm sorry.
So can I ask a question on that?
No. I want to focus the call today only on employers charging money. But our regular community conference call is on Thursday. So please join in on Thursday and we can talk about your issues, okay?
Thank you, Rajiv. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, let's get back to our discussion. So I'm focusing on employers charging money during the H1B process or from the beginning of the H1B process and what kind of issues there are. As a general rule, employers should not be charging an employee any kind of money for H1B processing as a general rule. Okay, some of these payments are forbidden by law. Some of these have become forbidden over a course of time by policy and by the way the thinking has evolved in the US government agencies. So let me approach this from the point of view more so of practicality rather than engaging too much in a theoretical discussion about the theoretical underpinnings or the legal underpinnings of why something is legal or illegal. Because as far as you are concerned as an employee, all you have to do is make the complaint. You don't have to analyze your situation. Fact of the matter is, if the employer has asked you for money and they've charged you money, you have a reason to complain. Whether employer has a reason to charge that money, which is extremely rare, and I will explain that in the course of our conversation when it can happen. But normally, employers should not be charging you for anything. Okay, so let's begin by talking about the types of payment. Why that is important? Because if the payment is in cash, then it becomes your word against the employer's word. So if the employer has asked you for, before they started processing your paperwork, you're sitting in India or somewhere in Europe or China, and the employer says, look, you've got to have to give me $5,000 if you want me to start processing your paperwork, that's illegal. Okay, and government does take very dim view of it. US government does not like employers. I have been engaged in providing defense or providing advice to criminal defense teams. Just like I am not a criminal defense lawyer, criminal defense lawyers, they're not immigration lawyers. They need somebody to advise them about the limits of the law. So I represent many defense teams, and almost, I would say, 95% of investigations, especially FBI investigations, a question that comes up almost immediately as soon as they start talking with the employer is, have you been charging money from the employees? So that can create all kinds of problems for the employer. They should not be asking you any kind of money. And you, as a matter of practice, do not give them cash. Give them something that can be traced. Give them something that can be, first of all, I don't want you to get into a situation where you actually get involved with an employer who's asking you for money. That's not good practice. But if you do, definitely no cash. Okay. If you're already in the United States and your employer has made a deduction from your salary, now that's where the exception comes in. Remember, I was talking about how almost never can any money be taken from you. Well, here is an exception, and that's probably the only one. The exception is this. Well, one of the two, those are the exceptions. One is, it is the law, Department of Labor does not permit an employer to deduct any money from the salary. I have seen contracts where an employer will say, okay, if you leave my employment, I can take $5,000 from you and I'll get that money from your last 2 months' salary. They cannot do that. That's illegal. Okay? So deductions from salary are permitted only and only if two things are satisfied. One, they are done for the convenience of the employee, and two, if the employee has consented to it. So for example, if you say, look, I'm going to pay for my health insurance, instead of me paying, you can deduct the money from my salary and pay it out directly to the plan. That's okay. They are doing it for your convenience and by your consent. Otherwise, they can never take money out of your salary. This is the troublesome area, the bonds for performance. What employers may be doing, and I have seen an example of that just a couple of weeks ago. A very large Indian company has been making employees sign bonds in India, and that they will sue you in India if you violate the terms of the employment, including leaving the employment. Now, that bond is definitely illegal under US laws. I've seen the language of it. Unfortunately, those cases were defended very poorly because the lawyers who represented the employees had no clue about the limits of immigration law. I'm sure they did the best they could, but immigration law is very complex. Okay, so another rule of thumb here is, if you have a bond for performance like that, please have your lawyers get in touch with me and with other lawyers who are willing to help. Anything we can do to guide your lawyers. Actually, a lot of information is on our website also, immigration.com. But if that information is not sufficient, have them contact us. Okay, have them call our office, explain what the situation is, and I'll try to do the best I can to guide and help. Okay. Bonds for performance under US laws are illegal. Are they legal under your home country laws? That's an issue you have to take up with your lawyers in that country. If they want any guidance on Indian law, on US laws, they can certainly call us. I've done that in the past. In fact, many years ago, we actually assisted some of the local law enforcement in India with US immigration laws. Some of the police people called us from Punjab and from Haryana about some illegal practices going on. So, we help people all the time, and we try not to charge money for this kind of community work. So have your lawyers contact us if you do get sued in your home country. Maybe we can put our heads together and give you some strategy that would work. Because remember, even under other countries' laws, I have practiced in many jurisdictions and worked with laws of many different countries. I can tell you this, modern laws all tend to go towards justice, so fairness. So eventually all laws will figure out some way of providing some kind of justice. And when you have a situation where US laws prohibit something and the work is being performed in USA, maybe there is some argument that can be made under private international law principles that says enforcing such a contract in India should be against public policy because they violate international comity, international friendship. We are not going to allow the enforcement of such laws. That depends upon the country you're from. I volunteer, will do the best we can to guide your lawyers if you do get sued. Okay, this is a very troubling area of the law called liquidated damages. You'll see often contracts have this clause, hey, if you break this contract, you'll have to pay us $15,000. That's called liquidated damages. What does that mean? That means before the contract is broken, we have assigned a figure to how much you have to pay us. I have a huge article, 20, 30, 40 page article on this, which was published by American Bar Association, American Law Institute. And it's on our website. If you go to immigration.com, about us, that's right on top, and click on about me, and you'll see my published articles. One of them is about liquidated damages. The normal rule of thumb is those kind of clauses, you have to pay us $20,000, are themselves a cause for complaint. Whether they are legal, illegal, does not matter. If an employer in the United States tries to enforce a liquidated damages clause against you, call Wage and Hour Division of the Department of Labor and submit your written complaint against the employer. Under the law, the Department of Labor is required to assess whether those liquidated damages are legal or not. That assessment can open a whole Pandora's box of possible violations against the employer and can become quite a problem for the employer. When I'm counseling employers, I tell them never have liquidated damages clauses in your contracts. It's a bad idea. I will not ever work with an employer who has a bond for performance. I think they're illegal. I think they're highly objectionable. I mean, there are other ways of making sure that the employees perform because there are problems on both sides. There are good employers dealing with bad employees, and there are bad employers dealing with good employees. There are problems on both sides. And I think there has to be some kind of an equity, some kind of a fairness. And we try as lawyers to bring as much of that about as we possibly can. The reason I am more concerned with the employees is because employers tend to be more powerful. But the great equalizer here is the complaints. Once the complaint is filed, the employer can get into a lot of problems. Okay, so just keep that in mind. I am planning not to make this a very long presentation. Everybody who had sent me emails about their questions and their concerns, I have pretty much incorporated them in this discussion. But we'll have time for a few questions. We'll try to do the best we can. No worries. So, liquidated damages clauses in general are themselves a cause for complaint. Not only an actual lawsuit, even if the employer threatens to enforce it, threatens to sue you under liquidated damages clauses in the United States, you should file a complaint against them with the Department of Labor. In fact, I spent 3-4 hours with some reporters who are doing a very lengthy report on Department of Labor's investigations. So let's see if they write something good about how the employees should be dealing with these kind of situations. Okay, now we come to the most important part. What should an employee do? First advice, if an employer is charging you money, don't take their job. You are better off not taking that job and going somewhere else. If they ask you money for an extension, if you're in the United States, please try to get yourself into another employment. Here is the situation. It's very bothersome, very, very bothersome when the employee wants you to pay up front for something before you've joined them. It is less bothersome if they say, hey, you're going to have to get your own lawyer for an extension. But Department of Labor has taken the position that employers must always pay themselves for their normal business expenses. And if you're an employer hiring people on H1Bs, then the H1B processing is your normal business expense, Mr. Employer. You should pay for it, not the employee. Okay, so it is almost always bothersome, not almost, it is always bothersome when the employer wants you to pay something before they've hired you. It is less bothersome, but definitely also a cause for complaint if the employer wants to charge you money for H1B extension. And I said, I'm not dealing with the green card part. There is a specific regulation under the Department of Labor regs that says employer has to pay for all of the perm processing. Can they make the employee pay for the I-140 and the 485? Probably. I-140, probably not. Maybe I-485, definitely the employee can be made to pay. Okay. So do not take the job if the employer is asking you upfront money. This guy is not to be trusted. I would rather have you go somewhere else. Now comes the question, who do I complain to? By the way, before I came in today, I talked with, one second, let me pull out the, I talked with one of my good acquaintances and friends who is involved with federal law enforcement. And I asked him this question. I said, look, I'm going to tell the boys and the girls, our friends and our clients and community to file complaints. When I want somebody to complain to the FBI or to Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE or USCIS, what do you suggest they should do? And his very good suggestion, very practical suggestion was always complain in writing. Whether you do it on the website or you send an email or a letter to the government, because that is almost always going to be tracked. Okay, if you just pick up the phone and call, is that being tracked? Is the report being written? That's something that's still optional. But if you complain in writing on their website or through email or through a letter, that is always logged. And there are sufficient complaints against the employer. Maybe one complaint may not do much, but if there are sufficient number of complaints, or if there's an ongoing investigation, or if they have the time and the inclination to enforce a particular kind of law, that employer will get investigated. If you're in your home country, you should contact the US consulate. Okay, and they have an anti-fraud unit. You can look it up on the web. If you do a search on consulate anti-fraud, you should be able to pull something out. I was able to. So what I'll also do is, over the next few days, I will create a blog entry with all the relevant links for you. So you can actually click on the link and make the complaint. Okay. My blogs are being moved from the forums to a new area within our website. So bear with us, maybe a week or 2 weeks. We've had a lot of problems with our website. Some new software was updated, which created so many problems. So we've kind of gotten rid of it, and we are trying to do certain changes in the website. Over the next couple of weeks, we should be fine. We should be stable. So I will post something, and if you follow my tweets and you have our apps, we have free apps for both iPhone as well as for the Android platform. You can just download and install them. If you follow my tweets or just come to the homepage on immigration.com, you will know when I've updated this. I'll give you the links. You can look for themselves yourselves. So if you're in your home country, you can very well complain to the State Department. You can also complain to the police in your home country. Okay, if you've been cheated or if you've been fraudulently acted upon, go ahead and complain to the police as well. You can also complain to the Federal Bureau of Investigations, FBI in the United States. When employers are acting fraudulently, go ahead and make a complaint. Okay. In the US, various authorities that you can complain to. I told you about State Department. Even if you are sitting in the United States and the employer is doing something fraudulent, you can always complain to the State Department. They have their own anti-fraud unit. Actually, they have a full-fledged anti-fraud department for investigations in Kentucky, USA. So if a complaint is received about an employer even if it is coming from India or China or Russia or some other country, they can cause Kentucky in the United States to investigate that further. And I've seen cases, we've actually acted in cases where Kentucky came to investigate and talk with the employers in the United States. Okay. So next is the Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE.gov. ICE.gov. They get involved whenever there is criminal activity on immigration side. You can complain to them as well. USCIS is involved with what is called benefits fraud. So they have an anti-fraud directorate which investigates employers who are submitting fraudulent documents or who are trying to commit frauds in applications. Benefits means petitions and applications. If you're in doubt, complain to everybody. Okay. U.S. Department of Labor, Wage and Hour Division, U.S. Department of Labor, Wage and Hour Division, they will take care of things like liquidated damages, employer not paying salary. Out of all these choices, I like the U.S. Department of Labor the best for you, but it's only applicable to people who are working here already. If you're working here and the employer docks your salary or the employer does not pay you, just call the USDOL Department of Wage and Hour Division. They have a form, I think it's called WH4 or something. Wage and Hour Division has a form, and they will investigate these complaints and they will make the employer pay you without you spending a single dime. Don't go to a private lawyer. I've seen employees do that, getting a private lawyer involved. Private lawyers will take away 30%, 35% of your recoverable. Just go to the Department of Labor. They will investigate these cases. Department of Justice investigates cases of discrimination. Okay, certain kinds of discrimination, and of course, equal employment opportunity is a separate topic. I'm discussing only discrimination in hiring and immigration, etc. So you can also complain to the Department of Justice, Office of Special Counsel. Most effective ones, I think, excuse me, I'm losing my voice. Most effective ones, I think, U.S. Department of Labor, ICE, USCIS, State Department, and FBI. FBI, of course, is involved with investigating crimes. Okay. And like I said, in writing is the best way to go. FBI is busy. They may not investigate every single complaint, and nor is their mission immigration enforcement, as opposed to U.S. Department of Labor or ICE or Department of State or Department of Justice. There are areas there that are, the mission is only immigration enforcement. And what happens is, you can complain to multiple agencies. And many of these agencies, from time to time, put together joint task forces who investigate jointly these complaints. Okay, I'll give you an example, very interesting example. I had never seen that in 25 years of my practice, almost 30 years actually. I had never seen a criminal complaint being filed and prosecuted against an employer who benches employees. What is benching? So let's say as long as you have a project on H1B, the employer is paying you. When you don't have a project, they stop paying you. That's called benching. That is illegal. For the first time, I have seen a criminal complaint being filed by the Inspector General of Department of Labor against benching. I'm not sure it's a criminal offense, but definitely I've seen it, and it's a new trend. Agencies are very aggressive about investigations and enforcement. So don't hesitate to call them. Okay? Actually write to them. So, what to do if the employer sues or threatens to sue you? If they are suing you in the United States on liquidated damages clause, pay me $20,000 if you leave me, immediately call the Department of Labor. Okay, Wage and Hour Division. If they sue you in your home country on a bond or something like that, have your lawyers contact us or other immigration lawyers in the United States so that they can explore the idea of what should be done and what kind of defenses should be raised in a suit filed in your home country. Okay. I have discussed all the issues that I wanted to discuss very quickly. The takeaway from this is you are not without power. We may not be able to get your money in every case, but we can definitely give you teeth which can cause eventually probably to have some part of that money returned, or at least make sure somebody else does not get cheated. Okay, now folks, I have a few minutes to answer questions if you have any. I was planning about half an hour for this call. Even if we go a little bit over, I can do that. That's not a problem. So press *5 if you have any questions. *5. Any questions about the topic I've discussed? 2 questions. 2 people have raised their hands. All right, let's talk with them one by one. One person is probably using Skype, so I don't know what your area code, etc. is. You raised your hand. Go ahead and talk. I can hear you. Go ahead and go ahead.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Should I speak?
Yes, please go ahead.
Yeah. I'm speaking from India. This is Rishi, and I've almost given my employer around $4,500. Okay. And for that, he hasn't given any written proof, just some gibberish in one paper with his sign on it, that he has taken certain amount of money from me. And now, as the lottery, in the lottery, he says that he has almost his 60% guys got the receipts, but I'm not the lucky one in that one. So he says me to wait, but when I ask him that normally employers do pay if they take money, they usually refund actually when the application is not selected, but he's continuously refusing that he won't return a penny now, because if you want to apply next year you can, but he won't be giving us anything back. So what do you recommend I should do with him? I should wait for the petition for the return package, or should I file against him already?
Well, I think you can wait another couple of weeks. What he has done is illegal already. Okay, but all right, let's take that 1-2% chance that you have an H1 visa possibility. I think you can wait, but make sure you don't do anything illegal. Whatever you did so far, you've done without knowing that this was illegal. Okay, but don't worry. I know you've been.
Yeah, actually, I wasn't aware of this particular. I wasn't aware of this particular rule from USA. He actually managed to convince me that in order to get recruited, he also gave me the employment letter stating the salary and everything, and also he let me sign a couple of letters which included the bond and the official employment stuff actually. So it got me into thinking that this guy is actually legitimate.
Okay.
So
hang on.
by
Rishi,
keeping that in mind, I paid him, and then it turned out to be this ugly.
Yeah, Rishi, I'm aware of your situation. You have been tweeting with me. I know we were talking on Twitter. So listen. I know that
exactly.
Whatever you did unknowingly. So it's okay. Wait another couple of weeks. Make sure you don't have actual approval. If he does not get you approved, you should definitely ask for your money back and let him know that I am going to complain to the U.S. Department of Labor, to ICE, to USCIS, and to the State Department, as well as the FBI, 5 agencies.
Okay.
I'm going to file a complaint against you, and I will make sure that, and please indicate to the agencies that you're willing to provide a statement as well as be a witness against this person. Okay?
Okay.
Let him know that
but would it create a problem if I don't have any written proof? Like, I have one written proof, but that's a gibberish by him, and he just wrote something that he took money from me, and this is the money, and he signed the document. So the USCIS will take any proof from me?
Absolutely, because this is a common thing. Employers try to be smart, and they try to be this kind of, not all employers. Some employers are, most of people that we deal with are very honorable people, legal, law-abiding people. But there are sleazy employers out there who will do stuff like that, and they always try to do things in an underhanded way so that they don't have a paper trail. Government knows that. Don't worry about that. Make your complaint. Okay?
Sure. Okay. That's comforting. Thank you, Rajiv.
And you're welcome to, that we have a community conference call every Thursday. We start that at 12:30.
Okay.
12:30 means 11, 1.5 hours. That means 10 o'clock your time. You're welcome to join in any time.
It's 10 o'clock in the morning or evening?
10 p.m.
10 o'clock in the evening, I guess.
10 p.m., yes. Yes.
10 p.m. in the evening. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, surely I'll join you and I'll give you the status next Thursday on what's happening because I'm starting from today itself.
Sure. Good luck to you.
Yeah, good talking with you, Rajiv.
Rishi,
Thank you.
one of the things I might do is I might ask you to contact local law enforcement in India. Maybe we can talk to some people and see if this kind of behavior will be permitted by the Indian government.
Can I contact the Mumbai U.S. consulate first and try and talk with them like what they have to suggest or what they have to tell about this particular thing?
Absolutely. There is an anti-fraud unit there, definitely. Okay?
Okay. I'll do the same then. Yeah. Good. Okay. Thanks, Raj.
You're welcome. Good luck to you, sir. Okay. We had one more call, and this one is from Massachusetts, United States. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, hi Rajiv. My name is Guru. I don't know if this is the right question for this forum, but I'll just
No, hang on 1 second. 1 second, Guru. Today I am doing only employers charging money from H1B employees. Community conference call is Thursday, couple of days from now. Okay.
Okay, so should I wait till Thursday to ask this question?
Please do.
Okay, yeah, thank you.
All right, bye-bye. Okay, guys, there were only 2 people who had questions. Of all the people who are logged in, once again, any question regarding what we have discussed today, press *5. Any question regarding what we've discussed today? Very good. We'll have this posted, this discussion posted, as well as I will make a blog entry for everyone as soon as I have my blogs up and running, and so that you have links to where you can go to make the complaint. Good luck, everyone. Thank you for being here. And all of you can come next Thursday, 10 p.m. India time, 12:30 US Eastern Standard Time. We have the community conference call, and we do it every 2 weeks. Bye-bye. Every other Thursday at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we host free community conference calls. Everybody is welcome to join. Some people post questions ahead of time. You can take membership in our forums. All of the details are there on our website, immigration.com. You can take membership ahead of time, and it's instantaneous. It happens right away. And post your questions beforehand, or you can just log in. The phone number and all are provided: 202-800-8394, 12:30 Eastern Standard Time, every other Thursday. We have free apps for both Apple iOS platform for your iPhones and iPads, as well as for Android. Just look for immigration.com, the period dot, and the application should show up.